my name is David Stram, and this is a new tutorial on doing a sky replacement in Photoshop. So this is what our finished image is going to look like, and we're just going to be removing the sky in one image and replacing it with an image of a sky, so that it will have a much more interesting sky in the image. And so if I go to the original image, this is what the original looks like. It's very washed out, bland sky. And there's a little bit of vignetting from the lens hood that I want to get rid of. So overall, this can be a much more interesting image if we replace the sky. So first thing we need to do is go to the channels, and we're going to take a look at our at the different channels in our channels palette. Now, if I click on each channel here, you can see what the image looks like when it's broken down into the various color channels. So because we're going to work on a sky, of course we need the blue channel, which will give us the most contrast here. And then I'm going to right click, select duplicate channel, call this alpha, and go to that alpha. Now, so there's some separation here, but what we really need is a pure black and white image. So let me do a levels adjustment and scoot the black point up a lot. Don't just want to get the ground right up until it starts to intrude on the sky, and then bring down the white point until all the sky turns white. Alright, so that looks better. Before I go on, let me just go back to my RGB, go to layers, and use my polygonal lasso to select this black area, and then go to edit, fill, and use the content aware option to remove that dark area. Alright, switching back now. Let me just do the same thing here. And Alt backspace to fill with foreground. So that takes care of that. And Now I'm going to switch to the regular lasso and just select everything on here. And now I can press X to switch my color swatches, Alt backspace, and that's good. Alright. So now we need to work on these buildings because these buildings should be black, not white. Let me flip on RGB just so I can see a little better what I'm doing. And I can also use the paintbrush here. Increase the hardness. And the flow. Okay, this area here needs to go. Okay, so I just need to press Control D to deselect what I had selected. And then I'm able to paint this area here. And I think this is all sky, so that's fine. This is not fine. That should be sky there. Whereas that is not. Okay, I'm actually surprised at how well this seems to be working. Okay. Now, the mountains here, not so good. So I could use the paintbrush and try to carefully paint in or paint out the mountains. Or I could use something like the magnetic lasso. Possibly the quick select tool. Something like that. But there's actually a better way. I think I learned this from Renee Robin on Creative Live. So if I go to my burn tool and I set the range to shadows, I can actually darken the mountain areas. And that. And it will not affect the sky because that's too bright. All right, one last look at this here. Looks good. All right. Now, Photoshop actually has limited support of alpha channels, but I can load this as a selection and Control-Shift-I to invert that selection, and then I need to create a layer mask, but of course a layer mask cannot be created for a background layer, so I need to right click, layer from background, click on the add layer mask button, and there goes background. Alright, so I now have my sky here. Control A to select all. Control C to copy. Control V to paste. And then I can go to my select tool and start transforming this. Of course, show transform controls needs to be checked if you didn't already know that. And then I can start dragging it and holding down Shift to scale proportionally. Okay, now there is my sky. All I need to do now is just drag it underneath. Oh, I need to confirm that transformation by clicking on the check, and then drag it and poof. So there we go. That is how you do a sky replacement in Photoshop. Now I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and check out some of my other videos as well.